Now, what is your vision for business? How much you want to expand it, and what is the level at which you are today, and where do you want to see yourself in future? I mean, what kind of future you envisage that after 10 years, where are you going to be?
Thank you so much for that question. So that is something that Shubhangi and I often discuss and deliberate on, especially during this lockdown time. I think it's given us a lot of time to actually sit and discuss, and it's definitely difficult for us to imagine exactly where we will be, because every now and then something new is coming up that we are tackling. There are issues that we are tackling on an ad hoc basis, on a reactive basis, and these are issues which we never thought would actually come about. For example, very recently we've started working with disability and menstruation. We've started working with the trans men community and menstruation. These are things that we possibly didn't imagine could expand, Pad2Go could expand to. So we're always open for expansion, but definitely we'd want for both the social side and the business side to move ahead together, because that is how our organization functions. We are self-dependent, self-reliant. Definitely we'll be putting up machines across the country, hopefully maybe expand towards other South Asian countries. So I think at this point of time, for me personally, it's a very open-ended question. We're always looking for new possibilities, and we're taking it as we go.
What is Shivangi thinking about it? What is
No,
your
like I
vision, Shivangi? Are you thinking the same way or you are different? Your thinking
no,
is different.
the best part. So the best part about the reason I feel that Pat to Go did so well in such a short time is, even though Jesslyn and I come from very different backgrounds in terms of our professional careers, are like our thought processes are the same, and the outcome, the outlook is the same, and that's where it's been really easy to work and also expand and talk about Pat to Go, because again it's really important for the co-founders to be on the same level head. So that saying that, I do agree with Justina, especially last year, COVID has really, I think, has been an eye-opening year for all of us, definitely, and especially for young and growing startup companies. It's always really important for us to adapt to what's coming ahead and make sure we're on top of our game by knowing our competitors, understanding the market, understanding what our customers want right now, what's happening, and what can we provide better. So Pad2Go is always ready to grow, and yes, in 10 years time, I definitely do see Pad2Go in many other countries and not just confined to Nepal.
Um, I will say that it is just 2 years for your company to start, or more than 2 years.
So
We'll
it'll be
complete
three
2 years
years
in October, September.
You started in 2018.
2018
Hello?
October. So we'll complete 3 years in October 2021.
Okay, okay. I just want to share. You said we do not know what's going to happen. We do not know whether we are capable of it or not. We do not know whether we can do it or not. You have to some extent have crossed that stage, whether you are capable of doing it or not. That stage you have crossed through, because every startup has hundreds of questions and they are doubtful about their capability to implement a project. But since you have crossed through, I will suggest the product is really good, and you have a market for it, established market for it. So why don't you work out on that? Suppose, I do not know what is the turnover of your company. It may be 30 lakhs, it could be 20 lakhs, or it could be 10 lakhs, whatever it is, because it is just a startup company, just 3 years old. So you can actually visualize, you can actually plan out a 10 years plan, and then start working backward. And this way, it will be easy for you to find out where are you today and what are the steps you are supposed to take for reaching to that level after 10 years. And it will clarify a lot many things in your mind, in your local system, in your future activities, because you are talking about going to South Asian countries. Now, South Asian countries, apart from Nepal, we have We have, of course, Bhutan is one. Another one is Pakistan and Bangladesh. I do not know Bangladesh, but I'm sure Pakistan must be having all advanced things because they are quite good in machineries as well. So, I mean, since you're a young entrepreneur, I feel that you should really think about 10 years ahead and then start working backward. And you will find whatever are your prospects, whatever are your multiplications for next 10
Mhm.
years, how can you get it? And then talk to some bank in your country. Talk to them that this is what, because if you go to any banker, in any case, they are going to ask you, give us 3 years plan. So when you submit a business plan, you have to work out on either on 3 years basis or 5 years basis, depending on what is the rule regulation in your country. In India, they ask for generally 3 years. So you start working on that, and then work out your future plans accordingly. And the wonderful thing which you are doing is that you are also providing help in creating the toilets, which is very nice. Have you seen a movie called Padman in India, which has come? Have you seen it?
Yes, we have.
Yes. Also, just adding
You
to
have
what you
seen.
said, thank you so much. That was a very, I think, valuable advice, because as growing startups, we definitely don't tend to look into, sometimes we don't vision the next 10 years or maybe the next 20 years. But also something very exciting, and in the startup scenario, especially now, is that things are changing, and we personally
Yeah.
don't envision in the next 10 years pad machines shouldn't be uh, needed, because all and every area should have pad vending machines, and that's our vision. So every year, what we do is we make sure we have another revenue generating model, because we do realize that pad just selling pad vending machine is not sustainable for a business. So like you said, it's very important for us to look at what our mission and our vision is in 10 years time and move back. I think that's a very valuable advice, and we'll definitely take that back to the team. Also, just adding to that, so we did have a discussion with the South Asian countries, all 8 South Asian countries last year, during menstrual health day in 2020. And something very interesting is that even though we're so, like, there are so many countries already well advanced, well developed, but again, these taboos and these stigmas are so ingrained in our minds, and especially in
Hmm.
our older generation, that it's really hard for us to move ahead. So as Pat to go, the best part about having a social enterprise is that we're not only moving as a business company, but we're also moving as a company that is changing social perceptions, that is changing behaviors, and that is changing the way we view things and the way we act, and hopefully these things will stop, especially in the next generation. So
Hmm.
I personally would like to say, this like the startup scenario these years, coming years, would be very exciting, because ideas are changing, and I think that's something we need to catch up
Hmm.
on. The whole process of changing ideas, because today I'm selling pad vending machines. In a few years, we hope that people are used to menstrual cups, because again, that is more biodegradable friendly, and that is biodegradable,
Hmm.
environment friendly. So it's just things are changing, and it's definitely very difficult to have one exact set of plan. But like you said, if we do have an overall idea, an overall plan as to, yes, this is what we want to do, this is the mission and this is the vision, it'll definitely be easier for us to move forward.
And also, connecting it to the education, because all our schools, they do not teach girls anything about personal sanitation. They do not teach girls that this is a very important part of our physical nature to have menstruation. This is how the body is made of. So this is a part of the education which should be actually prescribed in all our books, when at the early childhood level, maybe at the age of when the child is 6 7 years, because now the girls have started the period has started coming much earlier than it used to be before. So this education has to be also there. So I feel you can also take initiative in educating girl child, and it should become a compulsory part of the education. And you can take this initiative into your, I mean, your to your government level, that it should be inducted in the all the syllabus and all that. One particular portion is given in the syllabus about health and hygiene, and one can have a portion of it, just one page talking about all this, so that girls know that this is a part of it. That
Actually,
reminds me
Rajni,
of yeah,
very interestingly, last year itself, the
yeah. You said
government
something.
reform, yes, so last year the Nepali government actually reformed certain parts of the curriculum and have started providing mental health education. Was initially given from class 8, and the mandate now is that it should start from class 6 7. And definitely, something that Shubhangi and I always talk about is the wider reach, or the wider education, and the impact that can actually come about towards the next generation is through education, because the government has a large reach educating people. And something that we always lobby with the government, at the policy level about menstruation, is that we need to teach not only the biological aspect but also the social implications of menstruation across Nepal, across the region, across communities. And I think that is something that Shubhangi and I are definitely looking to move towards. Also, talking about menstruation in people who do not identify as women, and these are aspects that definitely Pat2Go is trying to lobby for, and hopefully we will be able to make policy level changes also. Thank you.
Also,
Yeah,
just adding to that,
that's very important
uh,
because yeah.
yeah, so sorry to cut you, doctor. So just adding to
No,
that,
no,
because
no.
I
Perfectly
studied
okay.
till
Please go ahead.
yeah, so
Huh.
I studied till 10th grade in Nepal, in Kathmandu, and we did have, menstruation. This is back in 2008 to 2009, and we did have a topic of menstruation on our biology textbooks. But the
I
sad
see.
part is the teachers
Mm,
either teach it in a very scientific way, so this is what happens in your
mm,
body, not like, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should
mm,
use, and this is how you should maybe dispose pads if you're using pads. But rather than that,
mm,
a few teachers just teach it in a very scientific way, and especially in rural areas, teachers just don't teach that subject, that chapter, so they just skip the chapter. So I
mm.
mean, education, like you said,
Yeah, they just
awareness
skip the
education
chapter.
is so important, not only for young kids but also for trainers and teachers, because they are the ones who are instilling all this wisdom and these processes and how we should move forward,
Mm.
especially in terms of hygiene and sanitation. So yes, there's a long way to go ahead.
Yes. Hmm. What is your turnover now? Present turnover.
So last year we didn't really do that well. So it's around Nepali 32 lakhs. Hopefully we'll be able
Mm-hmm.
to
Very nice.
do better this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also hoping to get in more revenue
Mm-hmm.
generating products, because right now, the only way we're sustaining our company is through selling the machines. And there are a lot of competitors coming in the market right now, and we do realize
Mm.
that we won't be able to sustain for a longer period of time with only the vending machines. So we're looking into more ideas. We're ideating. We're looking into more
Mm. I understand. But I tell you, the project which you have taken up, it is excellent project from the point of view as a social cause, from the point of view of its future requirement, and there is this product is needed all through the life, irrespective, because generation after generation we will have children and girls and growing up, so we will be requiring it. It's like you require the masalas in the kitchen the same way you require this kind of a product for our health and sanitation. So this has a lot of future, I believe, and the project is really wonderful. And it was really nice talking to both of you. And I look forward, and I wish you to see you again. And that time your turnover should be about 3-4 crores of rupees. And this is what I wish for both of you, and very soon. And that's why I want that you should really work, and give me a call if anytime you want any kind of advice, any kind of mentoring. I'm ready to do that. No charges for it, because I don't charge generally. So I love it. This is my passion, and you're most welcome. You have my number, or you can take it from my assistant, and it will be a pleasure to help you out anyway. So very nice talking to both of you, Shubhangi and Jesseline. You're two young, beautiful partners, and hope to see you in a very,
Thank
very
you.
big perspective.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajni. I think the camera is a little bit stuck, but if you can hear me, thank you so much for having us, for having Pat to go and giving us a space to share our story. We are very, very appreciative of it, and we hope to meet you soon in the coming future as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Rajni and the team for inviting us. We definitely had a very great session, and we will definitely keep in touch with you. Thank you so much, everyone.